So obviously you mentioned that you're at Famalam. How did you go about getting that deal for it to be aired on TV and stuff?
Happened was the BBC. I've been writing some stuff for them, some other things, and then an opportunity came around to do a show, and they were like, "Do you? There's just a blank slate to do something, and what do you want to do?" And then I was like, "Oh, cool. Well, let me produce it." So I'd never produced anything before, and it was just a case of I was like, let me produce it. And I was like, I was fortunate enough that the first person that was thought of for Feminam was Bemi. And shout out to Bemi, she just won an RTS award yesterday night, which is a huge, huge deal. It's a huge deal because only three people get nominated for each category. So big up Bemi. And so she won it for Familam for Series 3. But and then Bemi was that the first person I was like, she's got to be in this because we'd worked together on a show just prior, the Dame Baptiste show. No, we'd worked on Sunny D, which was Dame Baptiste's show. Like we played, she was like Dane's sister, and I played their annoying cousin for an episode, and I was like, she's sick. And then we got to rock together during that, and then I was like, oh cool, doing Family, I'm cool. Bring Bemi in, Viva Champong, sick actress. So I was like, come in, Viv. Tom Mucci, phenomenal talent. Come through Tom, and then Samson, I'd worked with loads of time. So like I worked with him on Javon Prince show, and like that's my brother. And we'd also just done a couple other pilots together, me and Samson. So it was like it was sort of a no-brainer really. And then Roxy Sternberg and John McMillan, amazing performers. So like we all there's like six performers, and it was just one of those things where you bring six people together, some of whom have personal relationships. Well, no, to be fair, like no one really, people knew of each other, but they weren't like super, super, super tight. And so over three series, you're just building this family together. And so like when you watch series one, you're like, rah, these people have like amazing chemistry together. And it was just like very lucky because it could have gone a very different way. And then Tom Marshall, director, writer, came in and just, added, the seasoning and sauce on this thing. And we all put a lot of seasoning and sauce on it. And that's how the show was born, man.
No, it's amazing. I feel like definitely to have such a great team of people working with you as well, it's making the process so much easier and so much fun. I think that definitely will help out to create a masterpiece that Family Lamb actually is. And to be honest, it's actually hilarious. So definitely in terms of writing, definitely 10 out of 10, 100%, I would say. Definitely. Let's go on to the topic about what every actor dreams of doing. Today you won your BAFTA. Yeah. Did you expect it? Was it there? How did you feel when you won it? Let me know.
I didn't expect to win. I mean, I would have been vexed if I didn't win. Put it that way. I'm not gonna front. I had a nice tux. Reese Reese niced me up with a tux. So I was like, it would be a waste of this tux, if I don't get to hold this statue. But seriously, I wasn't expecting it. When my mum couldn't actually come, my mum was supposed to be my date and she couldn't make it. Um, and I went with my agent, and so it was like, well, look, Abby, you're representing mum, so come on. And my mum's my good luck charm. So like, so I was like, Abby, come on, you got to represent. And so it was just one of those things, man, one of those surreal moments, because I think if anyone's seen my speech, I talk for like 20 minutes. They're literally in the side going like, wrap it up. And I'm just like, no, no. In my head, I'm like, no, 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 no.
That's your moment. You're
Oh,
gonna shine,
no. I'm like,
literally.
no, I'm gonna thank everyone. And funny enough, I didn't get to thank my sisters because I came off and I was like, and I called my sister. And I was like, yo, sis, I didn't thank you, but I thanked mum and dad first. So that's what matters. And I just spent time just shouting out all the people professionally who sort of helped me get to that point. You know what I mean? Like my drama club teacher Angie, or people at the BBC who've rocked with me since I was young, and Dane Baptiste and Javon Prince and Phil Bowker, people that like my black comedy comedy family who really sort of had my back and put me in position. So like, so it was one of those moments, man. It was one of those moments you get for your life, you know. Like everyone dreams of like getting to go on stage and hold a statue. So for me, it was real dope, man. It was real dope.
That's amazing. Definitely, that's definitely one thing that I know many, if not all, creatives and actors dream of, just standing on stage and being praised for all the hard work they've done throughout your whole career.
It's not even false humility. I never expected to win a BAFTA. Like when you're a little kid, when you're younger, you have these lofty ambitions of like, yeah, I'll do this. But I was just not, it wasn't sort of in my thing of like, you know, when you get to being like working and jobbing as an actor or as a creative person, it's maybe not like, it just sort of at that point wasn't like, yeah, I'm going to win a BAFTA. So it was really dope, man. And it was really nice, really, really nice moment.
No, that's amazing. That's definitely something that I don't think you'll ever forget. 100%. Can't be. Great, amazing. So obviously we're gonna come to the final few questions, but the questions, these ones are now, it's more like everyone who's interested in obviously doing the same thing that you do. It's just advice for them basically. So I think the next one is literally, what advice would you give to an upcoming music producer, or even writer, or even actor? I mean, like, just what advice would you give to these people?
Treat it like it's your hobby in the realest way, man. Like, because I'll just give an example. Like today, there's moments where I have to clock. We were saying this when we were just chatting before we started, and I was just like, the moment you want to moan about it, that's the moment you have to check yourself and kind of give yourself a little slap. Like the moment you want to moan about like, oh, I'm so busy, or this ain't this or this ain't that. Like just remember the child in you that wanted to do it. So like that's why I say treat it like your hobby. Because you know when something's your hobby, you'll spend hours on it and you won't moan. Like you'll be like, you'll miss food, you'll skip food for it. Whether it's making beats, whether it's reading a script, whether it's practicing voices or whatever, you'll take hours doing that. So it's like there's this habit of creative people when they get on. Sometimes we moan, and we all do it. We all know any actors out there, working actors, like will know what I'm talking about. Like sometimes we'll be like, getting the job is like the most fun part sometimes, and then we actually have to go do the work. It's like, no, treat it like it's your hobby, man, because then it won't be a job. And that sounds like a very cliche thing to say, but it's real. It's very, very real. Like if you just remember that kid. Just remember that kid who wanted to be in the TV or wanted to be on the radio. Always remember that person, because as adults, when we get into that adult space, we forget the child. We forget the child in us that wanted to create and wanted to play. Like the other day, I was filming something and I just clocked. I was like, rah, this is the most advanced level of like playing make believe. You know, when you was with your brethren when you was little and you was like, all right, cool, cops and robbers or whatever. And it's like you've got no set, no backdrop, no costumes. You might have like a little cap gun or something like that, or you might have like a little pirate sword or whatever. And when you're filming, when you're on set, that's the most highest level of that idea of play and make believe. You know what I mean? And so, and it's not to be like worthy about it, be like, oh, I'm so grateful for the sake of being grateful. But it's there has to be, we have to remind ourselves of the child, because when we do that, then nothing's going to bog us down or get us down, you know, in that way. So that would be my piece of advice. Just like keep it like your hobby.
Definitely, man. I couldn't agree more. I feel like, especially when you do stuff that you like, you also mentioned that you actually enjoy it more than if you actually treat it like a job. Because I mean, I think one problem we tend to see with people who do 9 to 5 jobs, they just tend to not like their job. That's the thing. But I think people, especially in the creative industry, even though there are people who may not really enjoy what they do, but there are definitely more people who actually love what they do in the creative industry.
In that respect, I'm the luckiest guy alive, man. Like I literally get to do what I wanted to do from when I was a kid. Like that's mad. When I clocked that, I'm like, rah, I've never wanted to do anything else. Like maybe when I was like, I don't know, like maybe when I was 7, I wanted to be a detective. I wanted to be a detective, but only because of Beverly Hills Cop. You see what I'm saying? Like, but that's still related to acting. But I've never wanted to do anything else but like make music, act, and create stuff.
Definitely. Now, I mean, you mentioned luck, but definitely is you work for it. Hard work, I mean, always comes and goes. Always hard work. I mean, hard work and talent can get you to anywhere you want to be at the end of the day. So, I mean, luck may be a point of view, but hard work and talent. I mean,
Luck out of it. Fortunate should be.
yeah, fortunate, 100%. That's a yeah.
Luck takes the divine out of it. Fortune is like the divine. We're bringing the divine in. So like, I'm very fortunate, man. I've been blessed.
Always stay thankful to the guy above 110%. All right. In terms of the entertainment industry, is there things that you now know about the entertainment industry that you wish when you was younger you did know about?
Yeah, I mean, I could say something silly about like the Illuminati or something like that. Like the Illuminati runs the thing. There's no just to dispel that rumor, man, about that. There's no like secret cabal that just sort of controls stuff. It's like get it because what I just as a side note, I find it so funny when people are like, Jay-Z, man, Jay-Z has sacrificed his soul to no, like that's a guy who's just grafted from day dot. Anyway, what I know, I would say one thing is really important. I tell people coming in the game, be on time. Be on time, man. Be on time. Be on time. And it's something that I can't stress enough. I can't stress it enough, man. Be on time. And when you think you're on time, be more on time. Be 15 minutes early. So if you think that thing's going to take you an hour, add half an hour onto it just so you're early, because like especially when we're coming from areas like we come from, whether it's East London, South London, and we're coming from a certain environment, and they're not expecting us in that part of the game. And by us, we know what we mean, like because there's already like a stigma against young people from like, you know, inner London in the industry, or there can be anyway, or there's a snobbery rather. Let's buck the trend, man. Let's buck the trend and let's be super on time. And I stress that because time is money. It's just money. Like, so if you're late to set, or if you're late for your pickup or this or that, that just has a knock-on effect, because like 5 minutes late can actually turn into half an hour late. You see what I'm saying? And that's when you've got the job on your way to the job, because if it's like, oh, well, you're late for the meeting, why should I give you the job? Or why should, you know, those things are really important. So I just say like valuing other people's time and respecting other people's time is key, but respecting your own time is key as well. So I'd say like be on time, man, and value time, because it's the one thing none of us can get back. It's such a valuable commodity.
Amazing. Literally amazing. Thank you so much. That's the end of all the questions that I've got on here, but someone did ask a question on the chat. They said, how do you deal with writer's block?
Get up, put your laptop down and go watch something. Go watch something and switch off, or go make a phone call or do something different. Don't if you're having to plug away and you can't get that thing, like just switch off if you can. That's one version of it. Go grab the phone, go watch something, go be inspired by something. And there might not necessarily be a eureka moment, but like ever so slowly, the solution will creep in. But in terms of like writer's block, I don't really get for like writing music so much. Well, I say that now I'm going to get writer's block for writing music. Sod's law. But I think for like say writing a script, I think that's the benefit of having a co-writer or a partner in that respect, because you can share the load. You know, and there's obviously the worst thing is that you're both just stumped. But if you're both stumped together, you'll find a solution together. You see what I'm saying? So like, and then the other thing is coffee. That's my thing. Just make sure you got some coffee. So when you're flagging, you're like, let me just hit that espresso real quick.
If you had a conversation with your 16-year-old self, what would you tell your 16-year-old self?
It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. I say it's gonna be all right, and and enjoy the moments more. Enjoy the moments more. I'm trying so hard, even now at my age, to just like enjoy the moments. Stop like forecasting and being like, oh, I need to think about this 2 steps ahead, which we have to do, but try and live in the moment, because like especially like now, the last 3 months have been so busy, and I've been going, oh man, can't wait till I get to April. Can't wait till I get to April. It's like, nah, live in the moment. Live in the moment and enjoy the moment. But I would tell myself, live in the moment, and it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right.
Best piece of advice I think anyone can give anyone. Akemnji, thank you so much for today's interview. I'm pretty sure everyone feels as much as I did in terms of information and stuff like that. Thank you for taking time out of your day as well. And yeah, again, pleasure having you on.
Pleasure, man. Thank you so much. God bless, and good night to everyone.